right, let's hit the field.
It is Saturday, April 5th, and the Yankees were going for 3 straight wins in Pittsburgh. It was the middle game of a 3-game series. We'll see if it ends up being the final game. But the Yankees offense was back at it. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Nice Saturday afternoon W in the books. And another win for the Yankees. Trent Grisham. Man, that guy is playing like crazy. He is taking advantage of his playing time. Back in 2019, we had next man up. You guys remember that when everybody was getting injured? And we had all these guys step in, whether it was Mike Tauchman, whether it was Cameron Maben. Well, Trent Grisham filling in admirably for Cody Bellinger, who is still on the shelf with that stiff lower back. But what a game. Couple of home runs, and he is smooth as it gets in center field. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys right now. I do not think that the Yankees are going to play tomorrow. I think that it's going to get rained out. They're calling for flash floods, which is typically not something you get when it drizzles. It's something you get when it's a storm. So if there is no baseball tomorrow, at least we will have a nice little win streak to think about.
Wow, winning.
3 straight. And because tomorrow's game might not happen, I'm going to do something today that I typically would do at the end of a series, which is I'll preview the team that we play next, which is the Detroit Tigers. And if we end up playing tomorrow, we'll just skip it. But let's get to the key takeaways from this game. Nice defensive play from Volpe in the first inning. Going to his right, smooth backhand. Doesn't have a great arm, but he makes up for it by having a Dan Marino-like quick release to get the runner. Very nice at-bat from Austin Wells in his first at-bat. Tough matchup, lefty on lefty. But, he fouled off a bunch of tough pitches and then picked up a base hit to bring in the first run. Throw it back. We got a super chat here from Mellow Yellow. Says, could Grisham be the next Bernie Williams? Appreciate the call. Or the super chat, rather. Grisham is a 4th outfielder. He's already almost 30. I think the time for him to become Bernie Williams has passed, unfortunately. But, no reason he can't step in and have a nice, stretch here. And as soon as Bellinger's back, he's going to go back to being the 4th outfielder. But he did go deep in his first at-bat, a no-doubter. Second mustache ride of the year. And that was the Yankees' 24th home run in 8 games, which at that point was more runs than the Pirates had scored all season. They showed the graphic on the Yes Network. Ouch. And then, of course, the Pirates broke out of it, and they scored 4 runs off of Stroman to take the lead in the 4th inning. Tough inning for Stro, man. I'll talk about him in just a minute when we get to the pitcher spotlight, but he was done after 4 innings. But the Yankees exploded for 6 runs in the 5th inning. Dominguez started it off. He was batting right-handed, and he's got extra base hits now in 4 of his last 5 games. Opposite field double. Peraza ripped a base hit. He got his first start of the season, and he had a multi-hit game, scored a couple of runs. He's hitting .500 on the season in limited duty. He also looks smooth over there at third base, as he always does. And then Trent Grisham. Are you kidding me? 3-run home run, second of the game. Nice day to step in and really pick up Cody Bellinger. The man is stepping up in a big way. 3rd mustache ride of the season for Trent Grisham. 25th home run for the Yankees on the season. And that's the first time that Trent Grisham has had 2 home runs in a game since June of 2021, so it's been a while. Bases clearing, 3-run double from Anthony Volpe, who had a very good day. 2nd double of the season. 10th, 11th, and 12th RBIs, off to a huge start. He had 2 doubles today. He's got 3 now on the season. And by the way, Volpe and Jazz Chisholm had a good day up the middle. They turned 2 double plays. They were smooth as silk. Dominguez, another good day. He hit 2 of the 5 hardest balls in the game, 107.6 and 106 in the 9th on an out. And the Yankees hang on to win in a blowout.
Ball game over. Yankees win.
Referee says he was never impressed with the Martian Jason Dominguez in the past. Hitting 4 home runs in his first 7 games as a 20-year-old wasn't impressive? Come on. However, this year he has shown up and started to show what he's got. He looks great so far. And they were talking about on the broadcast how Volpe could be having a breakout year. Look, I've been critical of his power approach, but it's working because it's leading to not only home runs, but power in the gaps, hitting balls over guys' heads. So if he keeps that up, I'm all for it. Got another super chat coming in here. Ian1216 says, Derek, if you have no objections to some self-promoting, I've promoted a video of Joe Girardi's Q&A session from Empire City Casino this afternoon on his YouTube page. Go check it out. Big fan of Joe Girardi. All right, so I don't think there's a whole lot of suspense today on the belt, but there were a lot of good candidates. Obviously, Volpe with a good day, 3 RBIs. Peraza had a good day. Goldschmidt had 3 hits. He's back up to 345 with a 941 OPS, but it's hard to argue against 2 home runs from Trent Grisham. 3 mustache rides all day, and in case you missed it, we brought a new belt into the show yesterday. The realistic, almost 3-dimensional belt. Leaderboard so far, Judge with 2, Jazz with 1, Rodon with 1, Cabrera with 1, and now Grisham with 1. Yankees 6-2 on the young season, and they're in first place. As we go to the standings here, they lead the Blue Jays by a game. Tigers, who the Yankees will see after this series, 4-4. They lead the AL Central. Guardians underwater, 3-4. In second place, White Sox off to a tough start, 2-6. They're probably going to lose 120 games again. Rangers off to a very good start. They had a lot of trouble last year with injuries and underperformance, guys not hitting fastballs. Well, they're off to a good start this year. Even though they have a -4 run differential, they've gotten some good pitching. In the National League, Phillies out front in the NL East. Mets right behind them, and Braves 1-7 to start the year. Cubs 7-4 out front in the NL Central. Kyle Tucker been hitting the ball well lately. Cardinals 4-3. Nolan Arenado got off to a good start. Dodgers finally filled the loss column, 9-1 on the season. Padres have lost 2 in a row after starting off 7-0. Giants 6-1. Yankees will see the Giants when they return home next weekend. But congratulations to belt winner Trent Grisham. Stepped up in a big way. Power surge, smooth defense, and doing it all with probably a top 3 mustache in all of Major League Baseball. All right, let's get to the pitcher spotlight. Marcus Stroman. I expect a veteran like Stroman to mostly shut down a team like the Pirates. And for the first 3 innings, that's exactly what happened. He was cruising along, but he put himself into hot water by losing the strike zone in the 4th inning, and then he started handing out free meatballs. It was free meatball day at PNC Park, so not a great start. He went 4 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and ERA on the season up to 7.27. Tough day at the office.
It stinks.
Referee says no rail riders for the Martian or Grisham. I don't even think Grisham could be sent down. He has a major league contract. And Sam G says, I absolutely hate watching Stro pitch. Tell us how you really feel. He was not good. 77 pitches, 44 strikes, 5 whiffs. He's not a swing and miss guy. Topped out at 91.3 miles an hour. And again, he got ahead early, and then he would try and get strikeouts and nibble. But 7.27 ERA on the season for Marcus Stroman. Not good. I saw a comment earlier about a juiced ball, and I had just been thinking about that. Is this another juiced ball year? The Yankees are averaging over 3 home runs per game, so they're on pace for like 485 home runs or something like that. But I was thinking about the 2019 team and how much fun that year was. You had Gleyber Torres hitting 38 home runs out of nowhere. You had Gary Sanchez with 34. You had Judge with 27 in 102 games. That's almost hard to believe, knowing what we know about what he's become, that there was a time when he would hit only 27 home runs in 102 games, which is still a lot of home runs. But Brett Gardner had 28 homers that year. Gio Urshela had 21. Luke Voigt, Clint Frazier, Mike Ford. Everybody was dropping dongs that year. 306 home runs, which was actually second in the league. The Twins set the record with 307, and then the Braves tied it in 2023 when they had Matt Olson go off. I still think that the Yankees should have got Matt Olson. I would have gone all in for him, but that's a different conversation. Anyway, Yankees are on pace for almost 500 home runs. Obviously, that would be ridiculous. But you know what? 9 home runs in a game is ridiculous. Dropping 9, 10 runs a game is ridiculous. And you can't blame it all on torpedo bats. I mean, Trent Grisham, I don't know if he's using a torpedo bat, but a couple of home runs today. Nobody saw that coming. Judge, obviously, going to drop 50 minimum if he's healthy, and 60 and 70 are both in play. Volpe right now looks like a 25 to 30 guy. So does Jazz. Judge going to hit so many home runs this year. It's going to be ridiculous. Who knows what Stanton, what he'll give you. Ben Rice, I could see him hitting 20. The Yankees have a lot of chances this year to put up some big power numbers. And so far, it's been a fun offense to watch. Usually it takes the home run hitting teams a while to get hot because home runs travel better in warm weather. But the Yankees have been doing this in kind of iffy weather. They've had some warm days in the Bronx, but, the hot part of the year hasn't even gotten here yet. So I'm really excited to see what this offense can do. Brian Doobie says, we officially won the Trent Grisham-Mike King trade. We also got some contribution from that other guy, Soto. Hopefully, eventually, it's known as the Trent Grisham trade. Pickler just became a member. Appreciate that. You guys can become a member, and I'll list you on the post-game show. When we get to the audience section, there's a scroll, has all the members. Samantha T says, can you really sit Grisham when he's this red hot? Well, what's interesting is that Boone tends to sit guys when they're hot. Yankees don't really believe in hot and cold. And the reason I know this is that Oswaldo Cabrera had 4 RBIs yesterday and played really well, and he got a hit right-handed, and then he sat the bench today. I'm not complaining because Peraza got a chance and he did well. But I don't think the Yankees actually believe in hot or cold. Sam G says the Yankees are leading in all offensive categories. That's what we want. That's what we want. All right, we got the Tigers coming up. If tomorrow's game gets rained out, obviously we won't have a show, but the Tigers have a deep arsenal of pitching, right? They have Tariq Skubal and Jack Flaherty, who the Yankees almost traded for last year, and then they backed out at the last minute because he had a back injury, which didn't really hamper him down the stretch. They have Casey Mize, a former top draft pick. I think the Yankees are lined up to face a few of these guys. They haven't officially announced it yet, but do the math. They are a team on the rise, and they made an unexpected run last year after they sold at the deadline. They traded Jack Flaherty to the Dodgers and then caught fire. They beat the Astros in 2 straight, and then they took the Guardians to 5 games. They've got some young talent. Riley Green is red hot. He's already got 3 home runs this year. Spencer Torkelson is finally hitting after being a top draft pick that kind of sputtered, maybe got rushed a little bit. And then they've got former Yankee Trey Sweeney playing shortstop. He's off to a good start. 813 OPS entering today. Also, worth noting, the conditions are going to be miserable. Monday, high of 44 degrees with rain and wind. Why would you not put a dome on a ballpark in Detroit? Why? I mean, I guess the summers are nice, but you could have the roof open. But in April, and should you make it to, deep into the playoffs or postseason, you're going to have snow. It's going to be awful and cold. Ugh. I mean, I'm not playing in it. I shouldn't really care. But I hate to watch these guys bundle up to try and play a baseball game. Tuesday, high of 38. High of 38. And it's a night game. So that means it's going to be in the 20s by the time the game starts. And then Wednesday, high of 42, but at least supposed to be sunny. Then the Yankees are off Thursday before they come back and play the Giants, who, as I mentioned, off to a good start. All right, let's take some comments. Let's take some voicemails. Let's take some everything. James G says, strange analytics don't believe in hot. There are some players who are just streaky. Yeah, I mean, I think there's something to just some players being streaky, but I absolutely believe in hot. Guys who've been hot will tell you that there's a different feeling. The game feels like it slows down. The game feels like it comes to you. And everything seems like it's happening in slow motion. It's like in basketball, being in the zone. Michael Jordan will say the rim seems like it's about this big, right? I believe in that stuff. It's a psychological thing as much as it is a physical thing. Gleyber Torres is on the IL. We're not going to see him in Detroit. He has an oblique strain. Probably just didn't want to play in the cold. Oh! Dee's channel loved the Grisham and Jackson facial hair comparison. Yeah, they really do look alike. Trent Grisham, if you missed it, looks a lot like Reggie Jackson. One of my favorite McFarlane figures is the Reggie one right behind me. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm pointing at it. But it's the coolest thing. He's got the mustache. He's got the glasses. I wish more people wore the aviator glasses. In fact, I've got some aviators right here. But Reggie used to rock the Aves. And he looked great with them. And I think more people need to rock the Aves. I mean, it's just a cool look. And we're rocking them today in honor of Val Kilmer, the Iceman. All right, let's see here. Info says, are you going to have Zach Hampel on anytime soon? No, fuck that guy. Zach Hampel sucks. THD Wicked 50 Cal says, sadly the Cards got rained out and need a big performance from Newt Bar in fantasy. Lars Nootbaar, somebody who has been on the Yankees' radar for years, big fan favorite in St. Louis, but he's somebody I've had my eyes on for a while, waiting for him to break out, maybe just before he becomes a free agent. Michael K. explaining to Flaherty about anime. What is that? Flaherty is absolutely terrible, and I hate to. I mean, I might have to talk with these guys someday, so I hate being that critical. So I just find Flaherty to be. Look, he knows baseball, right? He knows the guy knows ball and he can break it down. But I just find him so dry. Like, have an ounce of charisma, please. Just have a little bit of charisma once in a while. Say something funny, you know? I mean, when he says something funny, it's almost by accident. You know, come on. Dennis Jarvis says, cannot stand Flaherty. BTR520 says, DFA DJ, I don't see a spot in the lineup for him. You know, I was running into the same thing. I've got a MLB The Show franchise going with the Yankees, and usually I don't use the Yankees. Usually I pick another team. This year I've actually got two going. I got the Padres and I got the Yankees. I haven't done much with the Padres yet, but it's about June. You know, I'd put in the manual injuries, and I gave myself a couple of months with DJ on the IL, and it's about June, and I'm discovering I can't fit him in the lineup, so I had to DFA him. So pour one out for fictional DJ getting DFA. And JD says he forgot about DJ. And then Samantha says, Flaherty's weird to look at with all those facelifts. Has he had work done? I mean, he does look like he does look a little bit unnatural. He does look like a little rubbery at spots. But I don't want to pick on the guy for that. Right? If someone likes the way they look better after getting some work done, hey, all the more power to them. Ian says, almost no, it is by accident. Salvatore says, my grandma has more charisma. She died in 2008. RIP to Salvatore's grandma. And then the Virginian says, Flaherty is very bland. Look, I don't want to turn this into a trash and Flaherty podcast, but I think that Paul O'Neill and Michael Kay and David Cohn is the best combination because they go at each other. And I just wish they would run that out there more often. I like Rucco. I wish Cameron Maben was still in the broadcast booth. I thought he was fun, and obviously he's been on the podcast, and he's just a great guy. And he rocked the best suits. Justin Shackle, he's been on the podcast. I like when he does the game. But Flaherty is just too dry. I like Flaherty as part of the post-game show because he can break down stuff and he has a very analytical mind, but it doesn't translate into a charismatic voice in the post-game show. Zuzu Boy says Sims is a beauty. With Susan, I listened to them. We stole him. Oh, absolutely. Sims is the best. There's a video out on the MLB YouTube of all of the 15 home runs that the Yankees hit in their opening series and Sims calling all of them. I love the hey now. In fact, I worked it into my post-game show yesterday, and I might work it in a little bit more. I need a button where it's just like, hey now, and then it just, Also, that's a throwback to the Howard Stern show, which I know a lot of you are fans of, as am I. But Girardi, also fantastic. I like the way he breaks down games, but he's also charismatic. Like, he's funny. He's funny in that folksy kind of way, like that Midwestern kind of folksy, whereas, Michael Kay and, back when they had Al Leiter in the booth, or Todd Frazier, they're kind of more of like the Northeast kind of witty, like, almost, they'll rip guys and stuff in a fun way. Whereas Girardi is more like almost self-deprecating and things like that. But yeah, he's great in the booth. But yeah, Sims, I got to listen to a full broadcast with him and Susan. I haven't done that yet. That's on my list. And matter of fact, next Yankees game, I'm going to do that. And it's going to be part of the podcast. We are going to do a segment on the radio. I'm always looking for segments, by the way. If you guys have ideas for segments that you want to cover, hey, look, it's hard to come up with 20 minutes of fresh content every single day, so I'm always looking for ideas. But keep them coming. I did another podcast this afternoon where I was just sitting at my my back table just riffing on the Yankees. Go check that out. It's also on all the podcast platforms. But one more time for the New York Yankees.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
I feel like we haven't done this in a while where we just kind of sit back and take audience comments. I had an issue with my previous computer where I had too much stuff on the screen. All the old pieces of the post-game show were all just like bogging down everything. I got the new computer. I rebuilt the post-game show. I trimmed out a lot of the fat, and now everything is working smooth again. And I actually made like a modular template so that we can expand it to other territory shows. We launched one the other day called Snakes Territory, which if you're just a baseball fan and you like to check in on the other teams, they're a really knowledgeable Diamondbacks podcast, and I built the podcast, so go check that out and subscribe. It'll help us out. But yeah, so I'm thinking about expanding this template to work for other like sports and teams and things like that. And just in general, my vision of making the internet a more highly produced place for video content, that's kind of where this started and where it's going. So, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, all that good stuff. Like and subscribe, and we'll see ya when we see ya. Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.